All right.
Massive drop frames tonight, so it's the storm. Bugger all I can do about it. Okay, so
Nah.
just
But
check.
you're coming through all right on the Skype.
Yeah,
So
that'll be all right. And let's do it. I suppose it's time. Main screen.
all right, I'll have a look on Twitch then.
This
Make sure
one.
that
I'm
we've got.
just going to bring it over there. Oh, last of the tea. Art. Escape. And gameplay. No commentary. Add. Save to playlist. Podcast. And back into there. Can you hear us? Right. Unstable, it says on the Twitch feed. Hello. And there's bugger off the crowd there, so not a lot I can do about that. Okay, it is what it is. Let's make sure you can be heard out there. Twitch.
Let's try and get this.
Bitrate is terrible.
It's logged out.
OC podcast. Let's check here. Hello, baby. Connecting. Hello. Hello. Let's check. Say something, Pete.
Hello. My name is Pete. I can't log into Twitch. What's happened to that? Jesus.
Hello. Okay. We're ready to go. Shit happens. I have an unstable connection. We have a storm and snow blowing outside, and life goes on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly?
I think we're just getting started.
Medic!
I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
Sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, good evening. It's episode 671 of the Overseas Connection podcast. My name is Robin Tate. I am your host this evening, and it is a very, very stormy night here. Very unstable connection that I have because I'm connected through the joys of mobile internet and 4G. But allegedly tomorrow that's going to change. Third time lucky. And tonight I am on this wonderful show. This old girl of a show that's been going for so many years now. It's like a rickety old woman with no teeth and big ears. Very, very good at some things. And I'm joined tonight by Pete Chin. Hi, Pete. Hello, Pete.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad not to be dead.
I'm
So, sorry, Pete. Sorry, you. We will apologise now because Pete is kind of struggling to hear me now and again, so we'll just stick with us tonight. I apologise for not being dead. I had COVID once again for the second time. I had it at the beginning of December, if you remember, and I had it last week. And it's only the last day or so that I'm starting to have a bit more energy. It's just been bloody awful, and I'm just pissed off with the whole thing. I'm glad to be okay. This time was weird. And we'll get to that in a minute or two, but I'm not dead. I'm back on the show, and I've got Pete. Everybody else is off doing different things. On the screen, if you're happy enough, our second hosts, or our third and fourth hosts tonight, we have got Kim Woods too, which is another Kim Woods. I'm going every time Kim isn't on the show. I'm going to put a picture up of a Kim Woods. So there's lots of Kim Woodses in the world, and this is another Kim Woods. Hi, Kim. So go Google Kim Woods and you'll find out which one we have tonight. We're also joined by some of Bush's baked beans, and yes, they say they're the best. But I'm not so sure about that. But anyway, so here we are. This is episode 671. It is February 20th. My goodness, February's almost done. Well, this is we go out. Yeah, we go out live on Twitch TV /OC podcast on YouTube.com/OC podcast every Sunday evening in the UK at 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock on the west coast of America, 4 p.m. on the east coast, and 3 p.m. in Central Time. So come and join us. And this week in the community, we have a birthday, which is Seth McNitt, our old buddy, who is follically challenged, somewhat like yourself, Pete. And on the 25th of the month, he will be the magical age of 42. 42. The life, universe, and everything. Okay, let's get on with things and let's have a chat about chatting. What we chat about? What did we do? Did we live? Did we die? Oh, good. Oh my goodness, look at that. Excellent now. Excellent connection. Let's get times for stories.
Hooray, it's story time. Hooray, it's story time. I'm so glad to be with you today.
Yeah, so this COVID thing. What do you do, Pete? Like, that's twice now. Have you had it twice? That's twice. I had beginning of December. Charlie had it, I had it, and Judith had it at the beginning of December before we went to America.
Oh, I didn't realise you had it.
Yeah. And then
oh, God.
3 weeks ago, Charlie got it, and Jasmine got it, and then I got it. And the difference this time and the last time, for 2 days, I felt like I had the alien bursting out of my chest. With this alien just here, just behind me, alien, and I felt crap for a couple of days, and then I was okay after, I was up, and then this time I lost my sense of taste, which some people would say I've never had a sense of taste ever anway. So there's no surprise there.
It's acquired.
Yeah,
it's acquired.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste. You're absolutely right, Pete. Do you know what? That's so true. And I just felt really, really run down. I didn't have the pain in my chest this time. I just felt completely and utterly zonked. For a couple of days, felt coldish and fluish, but just my energy level gone. I did some work. I did a little bit of work, and when I'm on the phone, I walk. So I will, maybe on a phone call, I'll walk around the pool table 30 times.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, chat and walk. And I was out of breath even doing that. So, so I'm glad to be coming out of that. And I got some...
Did everybody else have the same symptoms as you?
No, not really, no. Charlie... No, Charlie, the second time. First time round, it didn't hardly affected him at all. This time he was a bit grim. But again, for a day or two. Jasmine had a bit of a temperature for a day or two.
Yeah.
So, it is odd. Hate it. So... Yeah, do you know what? I'm glad I've got all my vaccines, and you can have that argument. Just they help me. I kept out of hospital and all that, but I'm done. I'm done with tests. I'm done with masks and all that sort of shit. Because anyway, that's controversial, and I'm not going there. But they've done damn all squared good for anybody. So I'm glad to be alive. Glad to be alive.
Nice.
And you're here, Pete. You've had an active week or two, and you've got new headphones on. I see too. That's nice.
They're my PlayStation Pulse 3D headphones.
Ooh.
So I've not really used them that much, and I read that you could use them on the PC. So I thought, well, I'll get them on charge because I haven't used them hardly yet, and I'll go use them tonight.
Cool.
I haven't tried the microphone. I was tempted just to try the microphone just to see how that panned out, but I didn't want to sound like Darth Vader or anything on the show, so I just thought I'll leave it for another night, test it out, see how it goes. I didn't have time tonight, but
it'd probably be absolutely fine, Pete. A lot of guys do that anyway. I mean,
yeah,
we all get a bit hung up about it all. Okay, well, so what have you been up to? You mean you've been away for a week or two, and what's all your stuff? What's the biz?
Oh, I felt like a party animal last weekend. I went out on the Friday night and I didn't get in until like 2:30, And then I went out on a Saturday night and pretty much did the same. And I was wrecked by the Sunday. And I had earlier on that week to be on the show on Sunday. And I had this email come through from, I think it was Ticketmaster, to say, your tickets are ready for your snooker finals show on Sunday. I was like, what? So I looked on the email, and then I remembered then I bought some tickets for Shell, my brother, and Tara to go to the snooker finals, and I didn't realise it landed on that weekend. So I thought man, it just completely blew me.
But did he not have something the week before as well? Did he not go to meet someone and shake their hand and stuff like that? No, or is that the same thing?
Oh, Mike.
Yeah. Was there not an event that he went to meet one of the top players in the last week or so, and you could go and play? You could play around with them for a couple of £100.
Yeah, he went to meet Ronnie O'Sullivan. And that was where he caught COVID, actually, because my brother's just got over COVID recently, just before the finals, and he said that it was at that place where he actually caught it from someone there. But there was Ronnie O'Sullivan was there. He was meeting up with people for about 60 or 70 quid, I think it was, to go in, and then to actually play him was £300. Someone down the road from me said that he went into the Audi garage not long after and bought a brand new flash top of the range Audi for for a big lump sum of money. So he must make a lot of money doing that exhibition stuff.
Yeah, fair
I wouldn't pay £300 to play him, but yeah, that's fine.
I don't know. It's a lot of money, but if you have it and you're not, if you have that, you might think it's pretty disgusting.
Yeah,
and it probably is disgusting. You could spend it on better things, but it's also a lovely memory thing too, isn't it? It's just something you'd always talk about if you're into it that way. It would mean nothing to me really. No. But that's good. You guys are into your snooker in a big way, so.
Well, it was good to watch it from the other side, from the camera side of things. We've never been to one before, as big as that anyway. This is the final that we went to, and it was between Barry Hawkins and Neil Robinson.
Okay.
Is from Australia, and it was. I expected it to be a lot more busier than it was. There was about 300 or 400 people there, but the atmosphere was great. You could buy these little headphones for a tenner, and you get to listen to the commentary that they're playing on BBC. So it fills you in with what's going on live on TV, as well as you watching everything else, and it was really, really good. We all had a good night. It was fantastic, but I just didn't expect it to land on that weekend, because I thought that the way I planned that weekend was the Friday night's going to be busy, Saturday night's going to be busy. I'm going to feel like shit probably, but I'll be on the podcast on Sunday, and then on Monday we'll go for a Valentine's meal.
Very good.
And it just. I just forgot about the snooker. So, it ended up being a crazy weekend. It took us about a week to recover. But we went for a lovely Valentine's meal though on the Monday. That kind of sealed the party weekend off. We went to a place called Tumbledown Farm in Cannock, and it was a really nice, luxurious restaurant, and it was a lovely menu. We loved our food.
Lovely.
I had duck breast, which I haven't had for a long time, but yeah, great, loved it. So, apart from work, because I've been really busy at work, the only thing that's really happened that's dramatic is the dogs at my
homework,
my Xbox controller.
Oh, flip me, that's worse. Oh my goodness.
He's just
destroyed.
Chewed it all up. He was in pieces. I was just like, oh shit.
Flip me, it's 50 quid a pop. 50 quid a pop job. Yeah. So, but how are you gonna stop it doing that? Are you gonna now have to just lock them away somewhere, or kill the dog? What do you do?
Well, kill the dog. I think that's the most. That's the easiest option.
Yeah, I'll keep you on food for a week. Depends on the size of the dog, I suppose. I could send you.
But when they look at you, though, Robin, afterwards, when they give you those puppy eyes, and it's just like, I didn't do anything. It's just like, oh, all right, it's cute still.
Yeah.
So, there we go.
It's like Jasmine.
Shit happens.
Well, I could send you some Bush's beans over, and you can have that with a hot dog. So that'd be good. Yeah, speaking of food, I've ran out of my supply of ramen that I brought home from Florida.
Oh, no.
So I'm looking for ramen substitutes here. So I'm going to have to go around and have a look and see. I had some super noodles, and yeah, they're similar, but it's not the same. It's not quite so. Yeah. I did resort to some of the beans this week, and I had beans and banana and sausage and and HP sauce. I don't think the Americans understood how good banana and beans is. It's a British sort of dietary thing that you have to have. So baked beans and banana with HP sauce, but they don't get it at all.
Not for me. I can't eat anything too fibrous because of my stomach problems. But if I could, I'd love to.
Yeah,
there's nothing.
Baked beans and banana.
Baked beans on
banana.
toast.
Yeah, with banana, absolutely fabulous. Now, while I have been off this week, I have I took myself out of the house because the kids were off for half term as well. And I just came out and I said, I'm coming out to do a wee bit of work here and stuff like that. Hi, Boomer, how you doing? Very bad connection tonight, mate. Sorry, lad. It's a storm here. So anyway, so I've done a lot of fiddling out here in Man Cave Central. So you'll see now I've got like a wall behind me. It's sort of shelves that have been turned. I've created a little office space for myself here. I've added a lot more LED lighting, and this week I have now hooked up. I had a whole pile of LED strip lights and other bits and pieces that I hadn't sorted, so did that. But I also done a lot of hooking up this week. So now in this room, as well as your Xbox, the Series X, and there's the Xbox One Scorpio Edition, and there's a PS4, and then there's 3 Nintendo Switches to play with in here. So then that get the modern stuff out of the way. You can now come into this room and play a PS1, a PS2, N64, and SNES. You can play a Wii, you can play a Wii U, you can play a Master System 2, a Sega Saturn, you can play an Atari 2600. There's 6 mini arcade machines. All you can play those at the touch of a button. They can all come on, they'll all switch on.
Goodness gracious,
so
mate.
I've added a couple of extra screens, a lot of networking, tidying cables, and all other bits and pieces. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm really, really enjoying it. And I've ordered some extra bits and bobs.
Hey, Robin.
Yeah.
I've heard that there's something else that you're going to be able to play soon. A Commodore.
Oh,
is that right? Some purchases that's made.
Well, night before last. Night before last, I had some medicine, and the medicine was very, very strong. Let me just see. I'll have to come back to it here. So, I ordered a Commodore 64, boxed one with a tape drive and joysticks. You can just imagine what a boxed Commodore 64 cost. It's due to arrive this week. I do have one. So what put that in my head is I do have a Commodore 64, and I was trying to hook it up this week, but it's bricked, so it's just an ornament. So I thought, no, I've got to have one. I don't know why. I ordered another Pac-Man to make my arcades. That's the mini arcade machines. They're about 6 or 8 inches high, up to 6. So I ordered one of those. They're hard to get. I ordered a Battlestar Galactica Cylon figurine. That's an Eagle Moss one. You don't want to know. I ordered a cunt mug. I ordered, the fake news Trump edition card game. And I ordered a cock as well, which turns out to be a brass mini 3D figurine, retro style metal sculpture, home office room, desktop decoration, collection of ornaments. Since then, Pete, those are the things that I told you. Since then, I've realized I ordered a Davoon 64-bit pixel screen from Germany, which is about a foot wide by a foot wide, Wi-Fi controlled, and you can have pixel art on it, plus lots of stuff. It'll sit behind me. It'll be cool. You don't want to know. Okay? You don't want to know. And also...
Do you know the cock? You know when you sent me the picture of the cock, right? I showed it. The first thing you said was, it looked like he was searching for a cock ring because it had a ring on the top of it.
I think my medicine was so strong. Yeah. No original Sega. Yeah, there's a Master Sega. Not a Master System over there, Boomer, as well. And which one?
Master System. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Sega, isn't it?
Yeah, there's Sega and there's
So you're not going to
Mega Drive. Sorry,
Drive
there's a couple of Mega Drives over there. There's one wired up and working. And then if I look at this, I ordered also 6 pairs of cufflinks. Cufflinks. So
6.
6. So I'll just go back to my account here again. To be shipped. 6 pairs of cufflinks. Ones of Oreos, some penguins, some cocktails. Yes, an LED light up recording sign.
Oh my God!
It's coming from the US and it cost $31. So, now that's medicine ordering for you. That's terrible. Really, really bad. So don't take the strong medicine that I took. Now, one thing that Matt did show, because lots of people have upgraded the rooms to half, and everybody's been showing off the rooms and upgrades and bits and pieces. And Matt showed his room, and he's spent lots and lots on his place. He's these lovely counters, and he had an electrician come in and bury the cables in the walls and everything. But he had these lovely little holders.
Oh wow!
Lovely little holders for his controllers, Pete, that went on the wall. There were just like little brackets that you could put a PS4 or an Xbox controller or hang your headphones on somewhere nice and neat. So I've ordered a couple of sets of 4 of those for here as well, because that's always a challenge with the kids, just leaving the things lying, and hopefully I can train them to put them on. But also, I've got to have 8 of these little Duford angles, and I might be able to put up some of the other controllers in different areas. I need more space. Yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of good. Some good stuff, has happened here with all that. Greg in the house is working really, really well. Greg is doing a great job. I love ordering Greg around the place. You know about Greg, don't you? He's our new...
Is that the Hoover?
Yeah. Now Leslie's still down here. Leslie's looking after this place in here. But Greg's doing a fine job. Because, I ask the woman, I won't now say her name, Awexa. Oops, she heard. Awexa. Cancel. Yeah, I ask her to go and send Greg around to clean various parts of the house. And and then she sends me a little report of how well Greg has done. And she'll take some photographs.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I know. And
He's done a shit job.
And if something gets in the road, Greg will take photographs of the thing, and then you review what, is this a temporary thing, or is it permanent, or will I map it? So it maps out the whole. Greg's quite clever,
Oh, that's really clever, because I heard a horror story about like it doesn't detect like cat or dog shit, and it ends up just like throwing it all over the place.
No,
is that not the case then?
No, this new one does. This one now, this is the Roomba i7, and it detects cables.
It detects
cables and things on the ground and the floor, and it'll work its way around them. It'll go around them if it detects something like that, or if it's a small toy or bits and pieces, it works its way around, and it'll take a photograph of that. When it trundles back to its base and empties itself, because it empties itself into its bag. So when it plugs in to start charging, it goes, and it all gets emptied, and it's ready, and away it goes again if need be. So you can tell them to go, just do the kitchen, the bathroom, do everything, do the bathroom, do the hallway, do the sunroom, whatever, do all the downstairs bedrooms, and away it goes off. So, that's cool. So it's very, very good, very impressive.
So if you told it to just avoid that little piece of shit, then it would just go all the way around the room, everywhere, apart from that one area.
No, well, I don't tell it to Greg avoid the shit. It'll see the shit and avoid it. It'll not step on it. Or if it's a cable, or say it's a little tiny Peppa Pig, it'll see it and stop and go, oh, no, can't go over that, I'll go around it. And it'll take a photograph of Peppa Pig or the piece of shit. It's very, very clever. And so it takes a couple of runs to map your house, and then you see the map, and then you mark where you go on and edit it to show where the exact doors are and stuff like that there, and then you get each section, and it maps the house really, really well. and you give each section a name. So like Taylor's room, sunroom, west wing, wine cellar, and you say like tell Greg to go and vacuum the wine cellar, and away it goes. And it'll trundle all the way through the house to the wine cellar, vacuum the wine cellar, trundle all the way back through. Not vacuuming all the way. It'll just vacuum where it's supposed to vacuum. And there we go. So this is going very, very well. I'm very, very impressed with this piece of kit. Fantastic, fantastic. Oh, sorry, final. I had ordered this for my birthday, and it arrived, and I've had this here to play around with for the last week as well. So this is, I ordered the first time from AliExpress. I'd never ordered anything from AliExpress before. I was always a bit nervous coming from China. So this is called the Super Console X. It is a retro gaming console. It came, it looks like a little Nintendo NES. This came with a 256 megabyte SD card and 4 looky-likey Sony controllers. And it comes with 50,000 retro games pre-installed on that little card.
Bloody hell.
So there's 4 little USB dongle things at the front of it here, and you've got 4 controllers, and it's got all of your arcade games, tons of like PS1 games, Dreamcast, you name it, Commodore 64, Amiga, Atari 2600, Spectrum, you name it. It's unbelievable. There's some of the stuff that I have never even heard of.
So how much is that?
This one was $94. I think you can get them for about 60 with like one controller. It took about 8 weeks to get here from China, but I am I am so impressed with it. But so it's called a Super Console X Cube. Now there's even more powerful ones than this, but just a small little box, HDMI cable, controllers, plug it in, away it goes. It's a class piece of kit. Really, 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 really clever. So if you're stuck for space, this thing is, it's tiny, and that's the big box. So yeah, very good, very impressed with that. So I've been spending my time well around the house, and Judith said, "God almighty, Robin, you know what the best thing we could do, Robin? We should just cancel our Amazon account." And I'm going, "Yeah, that's a good idea, Judith. You don't know the half of it, love. You don't know the half of it." Right, okay, what else have I have here? No ramen upgrades. Oh yeah, so fiber is allegedly coming tomorrow. So they were supposed to hear, was it last Monday or the Monday before? Was it last Monday or last Thursday, whatever it was. And they arrived, the 2 likely lads arrived. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself. But they came and they looked around. There'd been a survey a few weeks before when I was all excited thinking it was coming in. And they arrived, 2 vans, 2 guys. They looked around, not paying any attention to what the survey was, trying to work out how they were going to do this. And I said, well, the guy with the survey said that he was going to bring it down the lane over to that pole, and from the pole onto the roof and bring it down to here. Oh, aye, right, okay. And they drove up and down the lane a wee bit, and then they came back down to say, we don't have enough cable. We're going to have to come back. We went to the depot this morning and there wasn't enough cable. I don't think we've got enough, so we're just going to have to go away and you've got to rebook again.
So how are they going to route it down that lane that leads up to your house? What are there poles that they have to do?
Yeah, there's brand new poles. So they're going. This new pole went up and it'll go over the top of the garden and at the west wing and down into the main place where I want that fibre. So
does it need to go from the head end to get to you? How far does that need to go?
Where I am right now? Yeah. Well, here I'm using the 4G, which is right behind me, this little modem. So that's going to be defunct again. So before, when I was sharing the house's internet, which is what I'm going to go back to, it'll leave here into a router here, up into the roof of the office here, go across 50 feet. Heating pipes from the heating system into the house. It goes in then to a power link adapter, which goes then to the router where the new fibre will be. So yeah, it goes a while before I get connected, but hopefully it'll work. Hopefully it'll be all right. So that's coming tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have enough cable. They phoned me to rebook, and she said, "Oh, yeah, we can do it on the 15th of March." And I went bananas. I went, "You're friggin' joking me." She says, "We're very sorry we couldn't install because of a technical issue." A technical issue? You just didn't put any bloody cable on the van. I says, I took days off, even though I was off. I took days off to do that, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so yes, that's why they're coming tomorrow. So we'll see. Do you know what? It's like foster kids. They're not here until they're here, Pete. It's not in until it's done. So we'll see. It's just amazing. Like on the stormy nights, and this over the last few days, our internet's been all over the place. The power flickers on and off. So that's the joys of that's 4G. That's just it, 4G. So okay, for the first time because of my sickness, for the first time in 26 years, Judith didn't get a Valentine's card this year. So first time, I had a good excuse. Anyway. This is a video game podcast. We do talk about video games eventually. And we did speak about Seth's birthday.
Happy birthday!
But we didn't do that. And now we're going to talk about some games.
Said if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
Okay. Rattle through those games with gold if you can see them there, Pete, will you?
Yes, games with gold for February. Broken Sword 5. The Serpent's Curse, that's available pretty much till the end of the week, next week. And Aerial Knights Never Yield, that's available from February 16th to March 15th. Hydrophobia, that's gone. Band of Bugs is available from the 16th of February to the 28th. Then we've got PlayStation Plus for February. There's Planet Coaster, EA Sports UFC 4, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, which is on PS4 only. And then we've got Amazon Prime Games, Stellaris, Ash Walkers, As Far as the Eye of the Hole, Double Dick Heroes, Galazzo Soccer League, and then on Stadia Pro for February, Life is Strange Remastered Collection, Cosmic Star Heroine, Nanotale, Typing Chronicles, Merrick's Market, One Hand Clapping, and Fogs. I don't think I've heard of any of them apart from Life is Strange. Anyway, Epic Game Store, Windbound is not available now. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, available from the February the 17th to the 24th. So that's the only available game now. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, and that's pretty much it for the next week and a bit.
Okay, all right. Well, good. As I said, it's such a surprise. February's almost gone. It really is strange, isn't it? How quickly things are going already.
Shocking.
Surprisingly, modern gaming I haven't done lots of. I have played a little bit of Halo. I have played some Mass Effect 3 again. I'm getting close towards the end of Mass Effect 3, so I am going to jump onto that. Now, I've ordered 2 games this week, and one of them is going to finish off later on tonight, which is a Set a Corso, a Competitions, yes, that word. And it's due to get a really big upgrade on the 22nd of this month, which is an upgrade for the Series X. It's a really, really good GT racing game, which is big on PC, but as for the Series X and PlayStation 5, it's going to get some power upgrades. So I'm looking forward to that, getting ready for that. And the other one, the Cyberpunk game, I've ordered and it's downloaded, ready to play. So it wasn't that dear. And I thought, well, do you know what the hell? Frig me, there's more stuff I've bought this week. Fuck me, Rum. Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, those 2 things, yes, all right. So I've ordered those. Now, one of the things that I did when I was tidying up here is I found another Xbox One, and it was sitting in the dust, and I brought it into the house and hooked it up in there, and just when the guys were out here and when I couldn't, so I just hooked it up yesterday. I was well in there, and Phil had talked about this game called The Artful Escape, and
all right,
it's kind of friggin' really fabulous. Okay, and odd and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the Wild Stallions. This sort of spacey guitar band. Everybody's into guitar riffs and all that in the future in the movie. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So the story goes. So this is like a walkie, a scroller from left to right, and you walk along and you explore little places, and you're a little folk singer, and you're in this little town called Calypso, and you're the nephew of some famous folk singer, and there's a big concert about to happen, and you're out in the woods playing folky songs which you don't really like, and then you do a guitar riff which is really fucking awesome, and some space alien people start to come down and go, wow, that's cool, and you go off on this alien adventure to find yourself, and I'm quite a way through it, and it's beautiful looking. It looks fabulous. The sound is just so awesome. When you're walking along, if you riff on your guitar, it has power to light up streams of if you go into the woods, it lights up a lot from grey flowers to beautiful bright flowers that turns on lights. Then you zip off to these weird and wonderful planets, playing your guitar to strange creatures. Do you know what? See if you were smoking a joint. Not that I do. I don't do drugs, okay? Kids, don't do drugs. But I've done it a couple of times. You were in one of those. Probably the last time I had a spliff was with you in Amsterdam. Yeah. Yeah. So that would have been the last time I had any non-legal, whatever was legal there. Anyway, dodgy drug. Yeah, on your brother's stag. But I can imagine if I had one of those little brownies and I was playing this game, it would be fucking perfect. It's psychedelic. It's out there. It is about finding yourself through, but it's on Game Pass. It's going, what is going on? It's a lovely little story, nice character, but it's out there, man. It really is. Phil, you played it and you really enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying it. Do I know why? Not 100% sure why. Apart from it's beautiful and sounds great and it's quite interesting. And I imagine being high playing it. So yeah, that's called The Artful Escape. Have you played stuff? I have played some other stuff, but what about you? Crossy Road.
I've not really played that much.
Arcade for tickets.
I know. I'm scraping at the barrel, right? I went to the bowling alley with my son earlier today, and I thought that we'd be able to get onto the lanes, but it was too busy. But there's a huge arcade there, and it's one of those arcades which it really does wind me up. But the kids get onto it. It's all of those arcade machines that drop out tickets.
Yeah.
So basically, you collect all the tickets, and then you go to the after, and you can buy, I don't know, a piece of shit for about 700 tickets after spending like 40 quid. So we ended up in the arcade, and we quickly worked out that the best game and the best machine for throwing out all of these tickets was Crossy Road.
Right.
And we ended up on that. So my son got the highest score. He was flying. He was just absolutely flying. He was
in the zone.
Loving it. At first, totally. He couldn't quite get it at first. He was losing after like 14 steps, but then he started to go into like into the higher numbers. It was just like, oh my god! He was just mastering the game, and all these tickets were flying out. So he really wanted this teddy that was in the cabinet, and we ended up like, I don't know how much I spent. It was probably about 25 quid or something like that. I don't know, but he ended up getting this teddy. And I said to Shell afterwards, I said, just Google that teddy, just to see how much you can get that fucking thing for. And she Googled it, and you can buy 2 of them for $4.99 on eBay.
Yeah. Friends of mine, they've just sold they had a beautiful big arcade. It was very old, called Barry's Amusements in the north coast of Northern Ireland. The customers of mine, and I'd say they're friends of mine, and I have a long history with them. But in the winter time, it closed down. But you went in, and in the wintertime, they sold like teddies, or I think there was one year there must have been 10,000 minions, like, you know, foot high minions that they were selling on eBay and everywhere, as wholesaling them off, as well as the grabbing thing, and they had all the ticket machines too. And so yeah, it's buy all this, spend all this money, and get tickets, and it's well, what the hell? It's the time you spend it. It was fun time to spend there.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, my son was absolutely blown away with all of the lights and all of the games and stuff. We don't do that often. That's not our every Saturday thing or Sunday thing. It's just, you know, it's just something that we just did off the cuff. We wanted to take him bowling, and that happened to be there. We knew it was there, but we thought if we couldn't get on the lanes, then at least we've got that as a bit of a something to do before we go to see my mum and dad. So he thoroughly enjoyed it. He ended up getting his like $4.99 toy for fucking 25 quid. But it was great. We had a great game on Crossy Roads. It was really, really good.
He would love it in here.
I played Halo, but
he would love it in here. So when I switch, when I come in and say, switch Man Cave on, and everything comes on, the noise in here, it's like an old arcade, because I have the little mini retro arcades. They all come on. And when I switch everything, so I mean, there's what is there now? There's 4, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 16 screens in here now that I can have things showing.
Oh my God.
So it's a cacophony of sound and light and dark and everything, and yeah, it's fun. He would
so
enjoy
is that all controlled by Alexa powered sockets or something?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
I'll do it right now. The lights are the bigger lights are on because of the podcast. But Alexa, turn Man Cave off. So there's all the little lights gone. They're all gone. So the pool lights are on and the big lights on. Alexa, turn Man Cave on. And away it goes. And there's all those lights coming up again. So yeah, it's kind of groovy. Anyway, sorry.
That's
and you
impressive.
so you